नमस्कार दोस्तों, वेलकम टू bizbotany। आज हम पढ़ेंगे ग्राउंड टिश्यूज के बारे में। ग्राउंड टिश्यू सिस्टम। ग्राउंड टिश्यू सिस्टम ग्राउंड टिश्यू सिस्टम्स के अंदर क्या क्या देखने को मिलेगा? एक्सेप्ट एपिडर्मिस एंड वैस्कुलर बंडल्स। एपिडर्मल टिश्यू एंड वैस्कुलर बंडल्स, वैस्कुलर टिश्यू सिस्टम को छोड़ के सभी सेल जो देखने को मिलेंगे एनाटॉमी के अंदर प्लांट्स, वो सभी किसके अंदर आएंगे? ग्राउंड टिश्यू सिस्टम्स के अंदर आएंगे। यहाँ पर आउटर मोस्ट लेयर को हम क्या बोल रहे? एपिडर्मिस बोल रहे। बिलो द एपिडर्मिस वी हैव अ कॉर्टेक्स रीजन्स। कॉर्टेक्स रीजन्स के नीचे एंडोडर्मिस लेयर देखने को मिलेगा। दिस इज एंडोडर्मिस लेयर। Inside the endodermis we have a vascular system. Xylem and phloem will be present. Xylem and phloem will be present like this. Except this epidermal region, this is the epidermis, and these are the vascular tissues. In between two xylem and phloem we have a cambium layer will be present. Okay, this is a xylem and this one is a phloem. Except these vascular tissues and epidermis, the cells which are present in whole anatomy of the plants we call them as a ground tissue systems. ये दोनों को छोड़ के सभी सेल्स को हम क्या बोल रहे हैं? ग्राउंड टिश्यू सिस्टम बोल रहे हैं। इसके अंदर कौन से सेल्स आएंगे? ग्राउंड टिश्यू सिस्टम इंक्लूड्स सिंपल परमानेंट tissues. They are parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma tissues will be present in the ground tissue systems. They made in the region of cortex. You can usually see the parenchyma cells. In medullary rays and pericycles too, you can see the parenchyma cells. At the pith regions, pith is a middle portion of the endodermis. endodermis का जो सेंटर पोर्शन के अंदर क्या देखने को मिलेंगे? parenchyma cells देखने को मिलेंगे. This we call it as a pith regions. In some cases this cortex regions is made up of collenchyma cells and sclerenchyma cells too, but here medullary rays, the cells which are present between two vascular bundles, we call that layer as a medullary rays. It is also made up of parenchyma cells. Here some in case of leaves you can see some special cells will be present. We call them as a mesophyll cells. Mesophyll cells will be present in the cortex regions. They contains the chloroplast. The mesophyll cells contains the chloroplast. They involve in a photosynthesis process. They are also included in the ground tissue systems. Vascular tissue systems consist of complex permanent tissues. They are nothing but a xylem and phloems. In case of dicots, in between the xylem and phloem, you can see one cambium layer will be present. This is a cambium layer. This cambium layer help for the secondary growth of the plants. It will be usually present in a dicots. Due to the presence of cambium, secondary xylem and secondary phloem will be formed. Secondary xylem and secondary phloem will be formed in these regions. This type of development we call it as a secondary growth in the plants. Here, when the xylem and phloems are arranged radially in a different radii, यहाँ पर एक रेडिया के अंदर फ्लोएम देखने को मिल रहा है, यहाँ पर एक डिफरेंट रेडियस के अंदर आपको फ्लोएम एंड xylem का अरेंजमेंट देखने को मिल रहा है. Such type of arrangement of xylem and phloem we call it as a radial arrangement. In others, when vascular bundles, nothing but xylem and phloem are present together, We call it as a vascular bundles. Vascular bundles which contains both xylem and phloems, they are present together. We call it as a vascular bundles. In between, if in between two vascular bundles, xylem and phloem, there is no cambium layer will be present. Such type of arrangement of vascular tissues we call it as a conjoint jointly present now. Both xylem and phloem are jointly present. That's why we are calling it as a conjoint. And there is no cambium, means conjoint closed type of arrangement. Conjoint closed type of arrangement of vascular tissues. Third one, in case of dicots, we have a cambium layer between the two vascular tissues. In between phloem and xylem, we have a cambium. Such type of arrangement we call it as a conjoint open type of vascular arrangement. Conjoint open बोले तो conjointly present. Phloem and xylem are jointly present. Open means in between these two tissues we have a cambium. That's why we are calling it as a conjoint open type of arrangement of vascular tissues. This is something about the ground tissues and vascular tissue systems. Thank you.